You know, I don't normally do videos like this. They're not exactly fun and exciting, and they don't bring out my creative side much, which is why I do this in the first place. I like to find ways to be creative while also informative with my content, an entertaining informer in the gaming world, if you will. And I hope I do a good job of that for all of you that watch this channel. And this job is really incredible for me. Even though I'm not full time in this realm yet, I love this job. I get to spend more time at home with my family, I get to edit and record with my kids on me occasionally, and it helps provide for my wife and 3 children as a basically single income household. It is a real blessing for my family and me, so don't take this as one of those complaining kind of videos, because I'm not complaining about any of this. I just want to pull back the curtain a little bit on what it's like to be a creator for you. And if you want to be a creator yourself, it's probably a good idea to pay attention to this, because I don't get paid to play video games. That's not all I do. There's a whole lot more that goes into it than just sitting down, playing a video game, and posting it up. In the background of this video is going to be some Arma Reforger gameplay. It's something I did today for hours. It's just a fun little experience that I had, but it's sort of what brought about this video, because at the end of the day, I felt like I got absolutely nothing done. I spent hours playing Arma Reforger, and I feel like I couldn't get any content out of it. I wasn't super chipper, I didn't have that many laughs, it was just a very low energy gameplay session. And when that happens, I feel like I waste the entire time. And so I decided to take those feelings and I thought, you know what, maybe I'll share that with my audience. Maybe they'd like to know a little bit more behind the scenes about how I feel as a creator. So just a little bit of a background here. I'm somewhat of an introvert, which I feel like a lot of creators say that they are as well. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But there are a few things that does that hinders my growth as a creator and hinders my ability to create the things that I want to. In person, I can be a big old goofball. By myself and to my wife and kids, all my close friends, I'm honestly a pretty funny guy. And I promise I'm not just saying that out of lack of self-awareness or maybe thinking too much of myself. I know I'm funny because the only way I could ever get my wife is if I made her laugh. And boy, did I marry up. There is no way a gal like that is marrying a guy like me without laughs every day, especially because I've also always been broke, so it wasn't for my money either. But there's something weird that happens when I get online with people, especially people that I don't know. My funny turns off. Sometimes I focus too much on the gaming experience that it's really hard to be myself. It's really hard to be that witty, silly guy that's just in a good mood all the time. Sometimes I feel like I focus too much on the video that I'm trying to make or the video I'm hoping to get out of it that I lose sight that it's a video game. I'm supposed to be having fun, and people enjoy more listening to people have fun than they do just looking at raw gameplay. Which this is sort of the reason Arma is a hard game for me to just hop into, or really any online game. I get really nervous to talk to people. I tend to be more reserved and just dull in general. So that's sort of how I started the day, and even bringing on my buddy Jericho later on. I had already set the tone for the day earlier, and I was still being a bump on a log even with someone with me. Mix in the fact that I'm a below average gamer most days, and, fun fact here, I am absolutely garbage at playing and providing commentary unless I'm in a really good mood. Content for me is actually very difficult to produce unless my brain is really clicking like it's supposed to. And so when days like this happen, I feel like a failure. Today, I felt like a failure as a creator, as a husband, as a father, because I provided practically nothing to anybody. You guys didn't get a video, I hardly made any money, I didn't provide for my family, and I didn't get to spend time with them either. This day to me feels like it was wasted, and that kind of sucks. I mean, I can be mocked online and have goobers who hate me for no reason, just say dumb stuff in the comments. I just don't care. I don't care if people don't like me. Obviously, that sort of helps the channel, but if you're gonna not like me for no reason at all, you're kind of a goober, and it doesn't matter. If you're not my wife, my kids, or my God, your disdain for me doesn't matter. But if I'm not providing for my family like I need to, that one stings. Although YouTube is passive income in a way, you also gotta do the work. And for me, when the work ends up as just time wasted, that's a hard one to take in. And as much as y'all probably think that YouTubers are rich and make a ton of money, here's how much money I've made in the last 28 days off ad revenue. This is certainly not enough for a wife and 3 kids, that's for sure. So that's what makes days like this sting. And it's not something that I thought about when I started this channel either. I thought I could eventually push low quality videos and become famous like Jack Frags and get all my money concerns taken care of. Not to say Jack Frags produces low quality videos. He does a good job the way that he does it. I'm just saying I can't sit down and just talk, post 10 minutes of gameplay, and get paid for it. Not to mention here, even though I have taken a step back from IRL work, as my family has grown, my time to create continues to shrink. 3 kids require a lot of work. If I want to be a good dad and a good husband, I have got to put loads of effort into that. I've got to put loads of effort into this here as a business. And as my kids get older, especially, they're going to need me even more. They're going to need my time to do events, to do certain activities. My time is shrinking. And then when I feel like I've wasted those hours here at work, it's hard. Just as an FYI here, the channel isn't dying or anything like that. Because of you guys and your willful viewership, I got myself a manager this past year who brings on sponsors, and that has really helped out. But even then, I don't take every sponsor opportunity that comes my way. I just try to provide what maybe you guys will enjoy or what really fits the channel. So with that rambling, I guess just my main point here is being a creator can be tough. Some days the juices just aren't flowing. And so really this video, while it is for you and me to connect a little bit more and you to get a little background information on me and who I am and how I feel, I think this video is ultimately a reminder that for me, everything's going to work out in the end. I'm going to make more money this year with YouTube than I did the last 2 years combined because of those sponsorships, because of your viewership, because you hit the like button, because you comment down below, because you share the video. You guys are the only reasons that this is working for me. And so I have to take these little hiccups and put them in the back of my mind and just say, hey, tomorrow's another day. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's going to have ups and downs, hills and valleys. And even though I'm going to feel like a failure, I must be doing something right because you guys keep clicking on my stuff, you keep watching, and you keep listening to what I have to say. For some reason, you click. I have the most generic thumbnails, I think, on YouTube when it comes to the first-person shooter genre. I just put a reloading gun on screen. I mean, I probably did it with this one. Maybe some text. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But my thumbnails are nothing special. Yet, here you are. So thank you. Thank you for taking the time to watch me. Thank you for giving me that time and trusting me with it and showing the channel support the way that you do. It's also a warning, though, I guess, if you want to be a creator. It's always going to be a growing process, and you're never going to feel like you're completely there. I'm sure the guys way up at the top still feel like they haven't made it, still feel like there's work to do, you know? In my IRL job as a therapist, there's sort of a ceiling that I can hit, right? I can be a full-time therapist, a very experienced guy. I can go corporate. I mean, but there's ultimately a ladder where I can't go up anymore. And that's sort of why I started this channel as well. Because for me, for what I wanted to do, since I don't want to go corporate, I've hit the ceiling as a therapist. I've hit the ceiling amount of what I can grow. There's no more reason to pursue anything more, to get more educated in what I do, because there's no real incentive, especially for where I work, for the setting that I work at. So I started this business so that I could continue to grow, continue to adventure, and see those things. So that's sort of why I made this video, I guess, just to be informative here. It's probably just more of like a journal writing to myself, I guess. I just have to remind myself that even though today felt like it just wasn't worth it, felt like it was useless, felt like I didn't do anything of value for anybody, it's just one day. It's just a few days that a video doesn't get released, right? In a few days, I'll release another one. And this job is still an incredible blessing. I get to do things that I just couldn't do with a 9-to-5. I get to play with my kids and jump out on the trampoline at 1 p.m. right before their naps just because it's nice out. I get to put them to bed every single night. I get to wake them up in the morning, get them breakfast before I come down and work. This is my dream job. But when I don't do a great job at my dream job, it's very difficult. So I guess just keep that in mind. Just wanted to share that today. If you're still watching this and I haven't bored you and, whatever, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I appreciate how you supported the channel, and I'm looking forward to the years ahead. Thank you again for watching. God bless, gamers.